wait, 'cause I've been missing you for oh so long. I can't wait, can't wait. See, I've been missing you. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. Can't wait.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing this evening? We are the Sloans. My name is Sheldon, and this is my lovely wife,
Sheila.
Yes, and we are the Sloans. We thank you guys for joining in with us today. We are here with friends of our marriage. I do me too. Just we're here as facilitators for the group, and it's just something that we've fallen in love with being a part of this group. Learning that just being able to have people who really are friends of your marriage that don't pick a side, don't choose a side between you and your wife. It's something that's needed, because you've just got to have that stability with your friends. You can't really talk to single friends or friends of yourself. It's just my boy. Of course, he's going to tell me what I need to hear. And if it's her girls, they're going to tell her what she needs to hear. But we've got a few people that we'd love to say thank you to, and give a big shout out to the Jamals, Aaron and Margaret Jamal, for helping us put this all together. We do have what we do on Monday nights. We are the facilitators here on Monday nights. We have the Jamals that are the facilitators on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. And then the Nichols, who are the facilitators for Saturdays, and they do their facilitation at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And speaking of the Nichols, we have one half of the Nichols, I believe, that is going to be joining us tonight, and they actually are here as our featured couple this weekend. So let's go ahead and have Miss Callista join us. Hello. How you doing, Callista? You doing all right? Oh, might be. Are you having technical difficulties? It's a little technical. She might be having some technical difficulties right quick. So what we'll do, the Jamal, we also have the Jamals that are here with us as well.
Hi.
Hello.
We got voice because I'm having a hair day.
Having a hair day. Okay. All right.
That's right.
I have. I do have. I got mine in a ponytail right now.
And I just washed mine, so that's why I put up.
Yeah, my husband, he's joining us in a minute too. But hey,
hello.
You doing all right this week?
How's the weather in your area?
It is so nice. In fact, the thing is, we were rushing because we just got in. I had to get something to eat, and it was nice. It was nice to get out for a minute.
Good.
Mm-hmm. How about over there in North Carolinas?
Well,
it is hot.
It's hot.
Yes, what we hit 90s this week.
This week, well, today we hit 80, but it felt like it was 90 because I was out in it working today. It was hot. And we had a little shower in the middle of the day that didn't do anything but intensify the heat because it was just steam just rolling after the rain. So it was like, oh God. Oh God. Overall, it's been a great week though. It's getting better and better.
Praise God. Yeah, yeah. We just have to hold on.
Yes,
Hold
right.
on to your love. You got to hold on. Hold on.
That's your song right there. I love it. And it looks like we've got Callista and Jeff. They've got their sound now. How you doing, Callista?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Doing great. Glad to see you guys here
Jeff
this
will be
evening.
joining us in just a little bit.
Good. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and I've got a little something I want to share with everyone on all of the people that are watching out there in TV land. We've got a way for you to actually join us. So we're going to show you how you can be a part of what we've got going on as well with our interactive, with the interactives.
Now is time to explore Bible-based answers to real-life issues with questions that help get a better understanding about the Bible verse for our featured topic. You can find the interactive lesson in assignments at idometoo.org. Click to access this week's assignments, and then go to number 2 to complete Bible study lesson, and click Go to Interactive Bible Study. Click Start Course, and then just scroll through the lesson and get started. Now, let's get started with the Bible verse and study questions.
All right. You heard him. Let's get started with our Bible verse. Our Bible verse says, "Let him not trust in futile things, deceiving himself, for futility will be his reward." That is Job 15:31.
Futile.
Yes, futile. Futile is one of those things, one of those words a lot of people don't really understand. They don't really know the definitions, but they act like they know what the definition of it is.
What's the definition?
Futile is meaning not really something that I'm trying to come. I want to say it properly, but really what it means is futile is just believing in something that is really not true. You're it's not going to happen. It's not really there. You're building up hope for that to really be true, and it's really not. As you're just putting your hopes and your dreams all into something that's just not going to come true. Mm-hmm. That's what I've gotten from the definition of it. What do you guys think of that?
Almost like vanity. You know, kind of like let him not trust in vain or vanity or vain things. Deceiving himself, for vanity will be his reward. So I don't know. That kind of the way I think of it. Probably much more than that.
It feels true. I like when you said it. It hit. So yeah, it kind of feels true. How about you, Margaret?
Oh yeah. I would say too, like it means worthless, empty. And a lot of times, and I was having a discussion with my sister earlier, is that we often forget that God is really our source. Yeah. So we put our trust in other things, like sometimes ourselves too much, you know. So I'm going to do well in this job, right? Because I want to get a raise and whatever the case may be. And I'm doing it by my own strength. Yeah. And, you know, I'm forgetting about the fact that the only reason I even have the job is because of God. And so then I get so disappointed when I don't have my own way. And why? Because I was going after futile things. It was worthless. You know, it's like that hamster, you know, on that wheel that just keeps on going back, you know, just pedaling. Even like with our marriage, right? I tried to fuss my way into getting my husband to do what it is that I want him to do. And I should have, before, it took me a while to learn I need to go to God. Yeah. Because if I keep arguing with him, he has his own logic. And I have my own logic. So I
Mm.
can't get him to see things. Sometimes I'll talk to him. I say, do you understand what I'm saying? And he'll say, no. I say, okay, I know what we got to do. God, because God understands you, and he's told me a few times. He said, God knows how to get through to me. And I'm like, you're right. I just got to. I was being futile in my efforts to try to convince him to think like me. He does not think like me.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Well, that was well spoken.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think we both,
I mean,
me and her both go through that because I don't
Yeah.
understand her sometimes, and I think she's supposed to, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that she feels the same.
I mean,
way.
I've been learning to calm myself down on him not understanding me. Like, I don't want to sit and argue with him as much as I used to. I was like, in my mind, a friend of ours, his name is Sam Pitts, he gave us a video, and the video was about men and how they have a one-track mind and they keep everything stored in one box.
In different boxes.
So-
No, we keep things stored in different boxes, but you cannot.
It still seems like it's one box for a woman because of the fact that you'll stay walking in the same path, for a while.
Women have these neutrons that go here, and they all connect and intertwine. And you guys can think about 50 different things at one time.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask a man to do anything, you got to ask me to do that one thing,
and then
because I'm gonna pull that box out and I'm gonna do that one thing. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna put that box
to do
back.
more than one thing, it takes him a while to say, "Oh man, I forgot."
I gotta
He'll
do
walk
the other
right
thing.
past the basket, like say if it's clothes, part of some clothes. He'll walk all the way to the bedroom looking for the basket, knowing that we done came in with the clothes from washing it. So,
but she asked me to do something else. So my focus is what she asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to, and being a man, I am here to make my wife happy. I want to solve all the problems. So I got to focus on what she asked me to do.
But by me learning that, listening to that video, it actually helped me with understanding him instead of me sitting around saying, "Golly, are you understanding? Hello, you hear me? You hear me?" And he used to say, "I'm not the kid. Stop snapping your fingers at me." So I had to stop myself from doing that as well because I used to snap my fingers at my daughters, like, Brianna, Hannah, calm down. You back home. So with my husband, I done learned how to calm that down and just stay a little bit more subtle within myself so that I won't feel overwhelmed and, exhausted because I'm sitting here trying to get him to do one thing. So
That's the futile. That's the futile.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. And Margie,
You know,
really good.
when Jeff and I were going through marriage class, they described a way a man thinks as, think of a wall, and on that wall are a lot of tiny boxes. And just like you said, a man pulls out a box and he does that box and he puts it away. A woman, on the other hand, think of the same wall, but think of a spider web on that wall. A woman can have one spot, but there's like 5 different avenues to go from that one spot. And we think of all things at all times, So,
Mhm.
yeah, like Jeff and I'd be driving down the road and I'd see a billboard and I'd all of a sudden say to him, like in the middle of a different conversation, I'd say, I saw that restaurant. And he's like, what are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I saw a billboard but back to the other one. And
My
Jeff's
husband
always
said-
reminding me.
Yeah, my husband say he uses a GPS for me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to do that myself. I got to have a GPS on whenever we're going somewhere because the conversation switches, it is over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our first question here. Question 1. How can someone not trust in something? Sheila, what do you think about
Not
that?
trusting something.
Yeah, how can you not trust in something?
It's got something bad's got to happen for me to not trust in something. Like if it's something similar to something that has already happened to me in the past, it's kind of hard for me to retrust it again. Sometimes when you like try to think of an example, I just have a lot of issues with friends, not trusting in friends to do certain things in my life. Like, how can I say this?
Trying to be there for saying that someone's going to be there, and then
To
they don't
help you do
show up.
something and then
Yeah,
they
some
don't
type
show
of
up.
stuff.
Yeah. Because we done went through that a lot,
Oh yeah.
where it's just been me and you to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we've asked people like today, was out with your family helping them decorate, and everybody didn't show up to
Right.
help with the decorations. It was just a few of us. And if everybody would have showed up, it would have been a totally different story at the end of the day. Would have had so much done. But by me volunteering to say, hey, I'll come and help you guys this morning, it was a big help
For them,
for
yeah.
them. But just trusting people to just do things with you or do things for you, that's a lot that I can say.
totally agree with you on that one. That's good. How
Yeah,
about you, Mark?
sometimes,
Oh, Callista. Go ahead, Callista.
sometimes when you're leaning on your own understanding too, it's hard to trust. We aren't giving to God what God deserves, and so you are leaning on your own understanding to try to trust someone. And just like you said, people are always going to but you have to trust in God.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, if, especially like I think of unbelievers, they suppress what they know to be true, and so they're cursed with futile thinking and believe lies. What if somebody tells you something and they're lying to you? So we really have to lean on God.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is very true. How about you, Margaret?
I think I think it is something you have to do intentionally to not trust in things. Like I given the example for example, if you've been taking certain pills for a long time, so I'm going to the ibuprofen or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, so as soon as I get a headache, running back to it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this headache might be something else. It might be a sinus headache. But you get used to your same old ways and always going back to the same thing and trusting in that. So you have to intentionally not trust in that. Likewise, if you've been listening to people who are not friends of your marriage and they're enemies of your marriage, and they've been who you've been turning to for support all the time, and you finally wake up and see that they've been supporting you, but not your marriage. How do you not turn to them the next time you have an argument again? You have to intentionally not trust in them to be that person for you. And it's hard. Sometimes you have separation issues with things that you had depended on for so long, but you see it's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
So I think the way is, first of all, you have to intentionally realize it's not good for you. And then you have to go to the source. And for me, it's God. I'm like, God, help me with this, because it's hard for me to resist.
Yeah.
I'm going into my natural inclination to, use that thing that I was using before.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Well, we've got a few comments that have come through here. So let's go ahead and recognize that. I must be a woman. I'll have my hands full, walk by something and think that doesn't belong there, pick it up with all the other stuff. Okay.
Must be a woman.
Mr. McRudge said that he must be a woman. Okay.
Hey,
And
I
then
seen the lady walking in the store with a newborn baby, and she had a 2-year-old that didn't want to sit in the cart, and a 4-year-old that was in the cart, and she had to push the cart and tell her 2-year-old to come on and hold the baby on the side. So yeah. Must be a woman.
I have another comment from Mr. Lamont Summers. I think you all touched on it the other week, but are there different extremes of broken trust, and how do we forgive and forget? Interesting question. I like that. I do personally think that there are different extremes of broken trust, because you can break trust by cheating. You can break trust by spending money too much, by not picking up the laundry on a regular basis. I mean, those are just being married is a whole nother world, and you to have no idea what your spouse is going to get angry with you about sometimes. And it is different extremes to the broken trust. Margaret, what are your thoughts on that?
On broken trust?
Yeah, on the question that's up on the screen right now.
Well, I think that it says, how do we forgive and forget? Again, I use that term intentional. You have to want to first. And sometimes you have to do self-talk. You have to say, I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forget. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forget. I know it's hard, but I know it's best. And then for me, I have to pray about it. I want that mind. See, I have to change my mind. And so for me, the only way is for God. And the other thing is separate yourself from people who are contrary to that. So those people who are not friends of your marriage, who want to tell you, you should stay mad. You have every right to be upset. Yeah. I'd be mad with you. I'm mad for you. You know, those kind of people. You have to get away from that and surround yourself with people who are forgiving. Surround yourself with people who agree with this thing that you really want to practice the way you really want to be. Those are the kind of people that you need to help inspire you to do that. But there again, I say it starts with the decision. If that's what you want to do, you say it and you ask people to hold you accountable and ask them to help you to do it. Get people that you can trust to do that.
Callista, what do you think?
Well, you know, I like to call the place that we store our thoughts a thought closet. You know, just as we clothe ourselves with the clothes from our closet, we clothe ourselves with our thoughts. Some of us have, you know, some of us tend to go to very dark thought closets. So we really have to go to God's word and bring light into our thought closet. We really have to lean heavily on God. I mean, that's what I think. And I do believe that there are different extremes of broken trust. I believe there's different areas that trust is broken. And, you know, for instance, there might be an area where financial trust is broken, just like you mentioned. But in every other way, everything is okay.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's hard to have someone keep the card if you have financial trust in the marriage.
Yeah, they can't hold the card. No bank cards for you, buddy. I know what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think that, you know, my thought closet can get very dark at times. And so I count on people like the Jamals and other friends of our marriage to help me come out of that and go to God, you know.
Always. Can I say something about that thought about no cards for you? I have a different perspective on that. I'm not saying it's right, but I have a different one.
Okay.
And the thing is that if there's a person, there are reasons sometimes that people can't manage their money or their credit cards. A lot of times what you'll find is that they just weren't taught. Right? And
True.
So if you say, now you're not going to get it, then what happens if you're the one that's been, I see you got the cup. Yeah. What about if you're the one that's been handling everything and then they get sick and they haven't been taught how to do it? So I think you find out what's going on and then you help them to learn because you care, especially if you're in a marriage. And so you can start with something like giving them a card that has limited amount of money, the amount of money that they are able to spend, and let them manage it. And then go through with it. I'll tell you something that happened with me, with my husband, is when by the time we got married, I had been single for a minute. So I was controlling my money, right? Now we're doing stuff and now it's our money. And I'm second guessing his spending habits because like I said, we don't think alike. We're not the same. which shows the power of God that we actually married, even though we think so different.
Right.
But when I was praying about it, I was telling God on him. I'm like, God, he's not doing the stuff, like I would do it.
Yeah, you snitching.
I was snitching. And you know what? You know what God came back to me with? Trust your husband. I'm like, whoa, what does that mean? Trust your husband. And I'm like, is this really God? Or is this the other? Who's really talking to me?
Voice in the back of your head.
I'm getting it. Trust your husband. I'm like, you talking about finances? Trust him. Trust him. And I'm like, you know what? And I spoke with him about it. I said, I believe the Lord is telling me to trust you with the finances. And I'm like, that is really hard. So I, believing that was God telling me to do that, say, babe, what do you feel about you just handle the funds? You handle the money for a minute, right? And balance the stuff. Come to find out, he's really good with the finances. He's a money person. He's a numbers person. And after a while, it took a while, but our credit started getting better. My spending started getting
less,
more compromising, right?
Good choice. Like
Right. I didn't see the need to have a separate bank account, which is huge. That was huge for me. It was huge for me. The other thing is that I did realize that when I did get sick, it was good that I trusted him because he had to take care of business.
Right.
You see, so God knew that something was going to be happening soon, that I needed to do that.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, just because a person isn't good with money, or you don't see them handling the money the way you think they should, maybe you should find some way to compromise and to get on the same page and let them know that you do trust them. It's hard to be married to somebody that treats you like a child and thinks that you're not to be trusted with any money at all.
It's true. It is true. That is true. It's hard to live with somebody who does not trust you fully with things, and they do treat you like a child. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I do.
Oh yeah, because he was telling me to stop snapping my fingers.
Yeah.
It's like
you're a jet, like West Side Story. That's why you're snapping your fingers. When you're a jet, you're a jet all the way.
Yeah, we actually, 16 years of us being together, we've learned to balance our money together because the way we get paid, he does DJing work. He does a lot of work where he gets cash on hand, or, someone sending the money through electronic app or something like that. It's not straight to the banking account. And, but I can't say during the pandemic, when the pandemic hit, we both had to stop doing the DJing and the makeup. Like the entertainment just completely stopped. And so we had to switch up some things. And our money started coming in differently. And it allowed us both to sit down and really talk to each other about what was getting spent, And sometimes when we go in the store, he's the shopper. He's the big shopper. He likes to go clothes shopping more than I do. And it's a clothes shop. You do the most of the clothes shopping.
Well, I do. I'll say yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
But anyway, we're when he does go shopping and we both go shopping, I done got to the point where I'm not ashamed to pull out my phone and add up how much money has been spent. And I say to him, babe, we at this much, we're at like over $100 some. We need to, slow it down because I'm not trying to spend $400 in the store, because you can spend that much going clothes shopping with two people
quickly,
and
especially with me.
Yes, because he's electronic. He's clothes and electronics. Like he's in the electronics section. He's picking up 4 or 5 things. I'm like, that's adding up. That's like $15.
I get it.
So, but we have learned through 16 years of being together on how to balance our income to where I'm happy and he's happy.
I'm satisfied. I'm gonna get happy when I get more money.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Back that up. Back that up.
Uh-oh.
You are tempting. You are tempting. Okay. You'd have to learn how to be whatever you want to be with or without. You can be
With
happy.
or
If money is going to make you happy, you're going to always be striving for that happiness. It'll never be enough.
yes.
That
You just said that last night.
you
Because we got into a discussion because he wants to go get a massage. And I was like, okay, can we wait till the end of the month to do this massage? Because massage has gone up. He's like,
Why don't you give it to him?
it's not the same. I don't have the
Yes.
I have not been taught how to really go into deep tissue.
I
You know,
need
he's
I
been
need
doing
the
a lot of the
hand.
landscaping and stuff. So his muscles is hurting. So I'm like,
I need
I can
the-
massage him, but not like someone that's went to
She'll
school.
give me a massage for 5 minutes and then she's tired.
I'm tired.
It's
Yeah.
like
My
I
hand starts to get
can't.
cramped up and stuff, you know,
We
'cause I do
can't.
makeup. So I'm like, your muscles is a little tighter than I'm thinking that they
But
are.
now
So
ask her about her massages.
it's a man thing, you know. It is. It's a man. He's got better muscles in his hands. He grips
Oh,
stuff, you know. I do that. I pick up light things, you know.
this is my wife and I love her.
So on to the next
On
question.
to the next question. Our next question is, what is a futile thing? Give us an example of a futile thing that you trusted in. And we'll start with you, Callista.
Well, have you ever experienced a time in your life where you knew God, but your thoughts and your actions didn't really reflect that? So to me, the word futile is kind of vanity, or it means you're incapable of producing any useful outcome or result. Okay. So when I was struggling with a negative body image, my thoughts were exactly that, futile and pointless. My thoughts were destructive and damaging, and they took me further away from God because God doesn't feel that way about me.
Mm.
So I think that's my example, you know, that I struggled with a negative body image for a while, and now I don't. Not to say that I'm always happy with myself, but I don't have that record playing over and over in my head telling me terrible things about myself. So
Right. Margaret, how about your views on this?
Wow. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I mean, I used to trust in a lot of futile things. One is that I had trusted that a long, long time ago, I used to trust in alcohol and drinking, and that it would make me have friends and be more fun, you know, and be better. And I used to really think that the only way that I can enjoy myself was by drinking.
Mm.
And that was a futile thing because right now, I mean, since I've known the Lord, I like me better, for one, and I laugh a whole lot more than I used to. I used to, like, you know, I was a mean drinking person.
Oh,
So I thought people liked me better, and they really didn't. They were like, you know, and you know, foul mouth, all of that kind of stuff, you know.
I
And
just
so
I cannot see that.
I
with you.
know, right? Now I'm sweet and adorable. I mean, who would have thought?
What?
absolutely.
I've never seen any side of you like that ever. And it's like, what?
Would y'all think that
No.
we were cigarette
Thank God.
smokers?
That you were what?
Cigarette smokers.
Are you?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, but we used to use the cigarettes to have conversations with people. Like, you know,
Hey, you want a cigarette?
Hey, you want a cigarette? Come on.
Come on, let's go smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, it's been about 13 years now.
It's been like
13, 14
more than
years.
that.
Well, we've been married for 16, so we didn't
But
quit on our marriage day.
no,
It was like
it's
a
probably
couple
it's
months
been about
after we got
14,
married.
about 14 years. 14 years.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, we stopped at the same time, cold turkey, because we both realized that we were using it for social.
Yeah.
You know, we was just like, we don't like the smell of it anyway, because we would walk past somebody and say, it really stinks,
Mhm.
you know. And then one day we just both said, his grandmother got sick really bad, and she told him he needed to quit smoking cigarettes. And we just kept thinking about it over and over and over. And then we both decided that this on the same day, we both said, you know, that's cold turkey stop. And it's been about 14 years, but yeah, we used it for social, you know, for social gatherings, for people to come around. You know, we spend our money on it. Now it's like what, $8 a pack, which I'm glad we don't do it no more.
Done.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick. A quick story about the smoking thing. I used to smoke. I started in college, right? A pack. Remember Cools? I don't know. But anyway, I used to smoke a pack a day, right? And then when I got together with my husband now, right? I mean, I quit, then I started again. Like you said, it was social. And he didn't smoke at all. Not cigarettes anyway. So okay, that's
Those
you know,
funny cigarettes.
we all have, you know, yeah, he smoked those guys, but he's a musician. What? Okay, so yeah, so what? Anyway, so but those cigarettes, so I'm smoking, and we're like sitting around, we're playing cards and stuff like that. And he could, I didn't know it because he didn't say it, but he didn't like the way I smelled when I smoked. It was hard for him to kiss me or be around me. So in order for him to feel better about it, he tried to smoke.
Oh, I know he got a headache.
Oh, girl. And then he did. And then we was smoking and he just started coughing. And you know, he's kind of fair complected or that reddish color. He turned red. And I was like, babe, what are you doing? He said, I'm trying to hang with you. And that's what made me stop. I said, this is crazy. You don't have to. That made me stop smoking. Yeah. I did.
Keep up with Margaret. You can't keep up with Margaret.
Keep up with the Margaret. So I had to back that off. Because I
And that was actually good for both of your health right now. So
we got a comment here. Let me pull this up right here. It says Sandy bought a Groupon where you learn. Oh, you learn to massage your partner.
Oh, go Sandy.
I know that.
I can get on Groupon.
We're gonna get on Groupon this week. Thank you for that. We need that.
That'd be good for you.
That'd be good.
Tell us how that works.
I see. You see how she said it's gonna be good for me, is what she said. But I give her good massages, is what she already said, right? But that's my wife. This is my wife, and I love her.
It's still the hand. It's still the grip.
All right, we're gonna take another quick second right here just to show you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The elbow. That's what she needs to do. That's right. Thank you, Callista.
I thought about standing on his back, but then I was like, "Oh man, I might mess up his spine." I keep.
She's not gonna
the weight was,
she's
even
lost
though my
weight.
went down.
You done lost weight, but I still don't want nobody standing on my back. But I'm not George Jefferson. We're not going through that. Well, let's get into this a little. For all of you that are on YouTube or Facebook that are following us, and you'd like to know a little bit more about what we do, check this out real quick.
We had to travel the world of our past to realize it was harder before cause we weren't by each other's side. Maybe it took a little longer to know together we're stronger. That's the way our love survived. Now we've gone through the fire. Love will take us higher, higher than it was before we went through love and war. See the promised land, walking hand in hand. Now that we can understand what we were fighting for, fighting for love.
Big shout out to
You-
Elijah Jamal. That's my song right there.
I
Tell
have it
you.
on you. I have it on.
We listen
What,
to that
my
song on a regular
iTunes?
basis. We love that song. If you have not heard of Mr. Elijah Jamal, go check him out. Go to YouTube. Just look at him.
iTunes,
Look him
download
up.
his music.
Look him up. He did a show in was it Berlin that we saw on a video that he had done. Now, mind you, he's not like the mainstream artist or anything like that. You may not have heard of him, but this man travels. This man is all over the world. So therefore, check out Elijah Jamal. I'm gonna get away from that. We're gonna get back to what we was on. All right. We have a trust quiz question here. This was our one of our main topics here. Are you concerned that your spouse has shared marital problems with family members or friends that you didn't want them to share? A, not at all. B, maybe once or twice. C, it has happened enough to make me uncomfortable around them. Or D, this happens way too many times. All right. And you guys that are online with us on YouTube and Facebook, please feel free to put in the chat what A, B, C, or D on that one, just so we can get some interaction from you guys as well. But we'll start with you, Callista. How about you? What do you think on that topic?
I don't feel like Jeff has ever shared any information. So for me, toward him, I don't feel like he's ever really shared any information. Now, on the flip side, he may feel that I have once or twice shared a little bit too much information with family. I love my family, but they are all Callista. I mean, they love Jeff and they always have, but the challenges that we faced the last 3 years, I think that's kind of given them pause. But the sad thing is that I may have talked to them about a problem, but then they don't see that we kissed and made up and everything is good. And they go on resenting that while I've given that up, and they continue to, put one on top of the other. So I have chosen now not to share things with my family because I just don't want that feedback. I'd rather come to you guys or the Jamals or some of the other people that we have in our corner who are for our marriage, not for just one of us. So
yeah. How about you, Margaret?
Oh, you said,
how about you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I shared too much. I say once or twice. Well, the thing about it is when I was coming up, secrets bothered me, because there was too much stuff going on. And so my sisters and I needed somebody to talk to. This was when I was coming up. So after we got married, that thing of sharing with my sisters and mother, it still spilled over into that. And it wasn't good because you know how family is. And so if you can tell them stuff and sometimes it would get misunderstood. I remember one time it really backfired when I was talking to my sister. You know how sisters are, how you joke around and you can fuss at each other. Yeah. And one time I was fussing at one of my sisters, and my husband, he said, "Why are you talking to her like that? She was just trying to do this and stuff like that." And he said, "You should hear how you sound." And I'm like, "Really? I didn't notice. I'm sorry. Thank you." And so I went and told my sister. I said, "He just told me that I wasn't talking to you nice. I just want to apologize." And she said, "What? He ain't got no business telling you how you talk to me is me. That's my business. That's your business." And then she got on him because for fussing at me. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that it doesn't always work that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the end, after we all started getting, acquainted with the Lord, they did become more friends of our marriage because he stuck around and they saw that he was good for me. But I did learn from that lesson that you don't necessarily tell everybody, especially people that are real close to you and don't want to see you hurt. They don't always understand that. And he was looking out for them and they got upset with him because he reprimanded me. You see what I'm saying? So you can't always tell people what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they was on Team Margaret. I understand that.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
we went through that before.
I have
with
Team Sloan, Team Sheldon, and she's got Team Sheila. So yeah, I understand that.
I had an issue with talking to my oldest daughter about everything that I could possibly think of. Like, oh, he's getting on my nerves because of this, that, this, that, and this, and that. And the older she got, she's 24 now. She just recently said to us, I think it's last year, a year ago, 2 years ago. It's been recent. She said, Mama, I need you to stop talking to me about your marriage, your relationship with Don.
Yeah.
Because I love him. And if you continue to keep telling me what you're angry about him at, I'm not going to know how to talk to him when he comes to me, because he started going to her saying, well, your mom is getting on my nerves for this. Da, da, da. So she had to sit us both down and said, you both of y'all need to stop talking to me about the relationship, because I love you both, but you both are sitting here arguing over stupid stuff. Basically, she said, you argue over the stupidest things and you don't need to be arguing over these things, because you both are going to.
Did they freeze?
Yeah, they're frozen for me anyway.
Oh, okay. I thought it was from my end.
I thought mine too.
but don't you look cute?
Yeah.
Let me tell them they frozen. I'm gonna just go ahead and chat.
Oh, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no, I have frozen.
Okay. I'm sorry, it's the internet probably. But yeah, we had to learn how to stop talking to our child, our oldest daughter, who basically said both of you need to shut up. And just stop talking to me, because I have a life I need to live, and I don't need to look at neither one of you and say you're the fault, she's the fault, because she didn't want to do that. Because we were saying to her, it's his fault, and he was saying, no, it's your mama's fault. And then she was just like, y'all need to stop. Just leave me out of your problems. I'm not your psychiatrist. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you can and can't do. And we both looked at each other and were just like, I had to look at myself and say to myself, I needed to stop, because it was more me than it was him. So,
well, and another thing that it's been brought up in these types of conversations that we've had in the group as well, that when you take your problems to family members and friends, they don't get a chance to see the forgiving process. Exactly. That stuck out to me hearing that in the group. I believe it was Calista that said that your family does not get to see you and your spouse say, oh, I love you, baby, I'm so sorry. They don't see that. They remember you saying, I can't stand her. She get on my nerves. God, I wish I could just
yeah,
that's all they
be
remember.
Riding down the road and I'll say, I'm sorry.
And I'll be like, I know, I'm sorry.
And
too.
She wasn't with us. So she's like, oh, it's 10 minutes now. You guys is made up, So, we had to learn how
the problem just, you're David Copperfield today. Okay. I mean, that's exactly how I understand when you do, and I say that with my mom too. I talk to my mom. I'm a mama's boy. I am. Our grandma and my mom, I love them. My grandma also passed away, so I've got my mom only now just to talk to and tell stuff to. So when I talk to my mom, she gets on me because she loves this girl so much. That's one thing that I'm like, Mama, you're supposed to be on my team. I don't understand. You're supposed to be on my side. But she is really, really one of those people that is like, I'm not gonna just be on your side. She's a friend of our marriage. And I do get that. I mean, she's not giving me a one-sided deal. If I say I need something from her, she'll be like, I'm here for you, but you're wrong. she'll tell me when I'm wrong. And I mean, that's one thing. That's why I continue to talk to her about things. So she don't have to worry about that when she's on her team. All right. We've got us another question coming up here. What is it?
It's those up there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Does your spouse get angry when you ask them about being late coming home? Woo!
Ooh, sometimes. It really depends on who he's with.
Yeah. Because I'm the only one that comes home late. So, yeah. She doesn't come home late. So, how about you, Margaret?
What? What did you actually answer, or you just want to?
I mean, with me,
Yeah, I don't never come home late because I'm always the
She
one
doesn't come home
cooking
late.
and cleaning and making sure everything gets done. So I don't really come home. I don't never be out late.
but with me, she gets upset. So we would say, I would have to say sometimes, because she gets angry with me if I come home late without calling, or it's really never not calling if I just come home late, because we talk to each other on a regular basis. If she calls my phone, I'm picking it up. Regardless of where I'm at or who I'm with, I'm picking up my phone. So that's not the issue. So if I am running behind or whatnot, it does become a problem because I should have been home, and in her eyes.
Well, I done got the timing down now with his DJing. So,
Ooh,
if he goes over, 30
okay.
minutes, he's bringing home this certain amount of income.
Oh.
Like
Mhm.
your money looks like this.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you don't call me and you didn't come home with this certain amount of income, like, what happened? But that's never happened.
It's
So
time to adjust my price list now. Okay.
it's the thing with us.
Since you asked me, I realized it's two different things for me. It wasn't like if he's come late. It depends on how I ask him about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm like, because I would get like nervous because I thought something happened to him, and then he comes in like nothing happened to me. I just stopped off at the store. I'm like, but you know how I'm trying to trust God and all that kind of stuff. I got in the flesh, right? And you let me get worried or nervous about, these people are crazy out here. We live in Iowa. They're crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, Calista. But I'm like, and so if I ask out of my frustration, then it's tense. If I ask, say, babe, what happened? I was concerned about you. Then it's more, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't call. But if I say, you didn't call, and I'm up here and I'm worried and stuff like that, and then it's like, well, I'm sorry, So it really depends on how I ask.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, I don't think that if he would get angry or upset, it wasn't that I asked, but my attitude and my tone, the demandingness would, and then, we kind of go back and forth. We have done that. I'm better. I'm definitely better now with the grace of the Lord. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
How about you, Calista?
Well, Jeff and I were discussing this, and he kind of disagreed with me, and now I kind of see his side of it. So he used to go to these meetings, and after the meetings, sometimes the group of people would, go out and have a breakfast or a supper or whatever. And I don't care. He can do whatever it is that he wants to do. That, I mean, within marital confines. But when it became like 2-3 hours after I knew that the meeting was over, then it wasn't that I was mad that you're not home. It was that if you're going to take longer than what you should think maybe normal, please just send me a message. So I would just send him a text message and say, are you okay? All I want to know is that you're okay. Because just like Margaret, I mean, I don't think there's a bunch of crazies, but there's a bunch of things that can happen,
Yeah.
And So I sometimes, and I agree with Margaret, sometimes it's the way you approach it, that, you know, it makes a difference, the kind of response that you get back. And I'm kind of like Sheila. I'm not out very often, but if I ever am, you know, I will, if it's like a bunch of friends and we're sitting there and we're conversing and having a good time, a lot of times I'll just send a message, hey, we're still sitting here at the restaurant or whatever, you know, just so that worry isn't the main, you know, thought on his mind. Like if I ever go out and stay out at my family's, you know, I always text him when I get there, hey, I'm at mom's, just so he knows I got there safely, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I said too. I think we as women, we explain ourselves a lot more, you know, to the man. I think the man is like, you know, they're saying they one track mind, so
My
they
little
don't
box.
think about it.
My box.
They don't think about it as much as they should, but you know, I think that's how I feel.
I get it. And I do.
But you know,
I should open up more.
I had a hard time with it when we first got married. I had been single, you know, till I'm into my 30s, and I do things when I wanted, what I wanted, where I wanted, and I didn't have to explain it to anybody, you know. And for the first year of our marriage, that was a real challenge for me. Not that I was upset that he wanted me to tell him I was okay or whatever, but that I just didn't do it because I could take care of myself. I've been doing that. I don't need you to worry about me. You know, that was kind of my thinking. And so for the first year of our marriage, I really struggled with that. I just needed, you know, he had to several times tell me, hey, can you just send me a text message, you know? And I finally got out of the habit of thinking I was still single, you know.
You didn't need nobody you don't need nobody to save you. That's what it was.
Right.
You need nobody to save you. You got this.
And I mean, it's hard to get out of that one track mind. I mean, because you know, when we met, I was living on my own for about a year, 2 years, and then you came along and
swept her right off her feet and told her she couldn't do nothing else. I'm in trouble.
No, we became best friends and didn't know we was going to be in a relationship.
No, we never knew it.
It was hard.
Yeah, it fell
was
into
hard
place,
at first to try to balance a relationship, being single, living on your own, but yeah, we had to learn a lot. Well, he had to learn a lot.
Oh, yeah, she switched it. You see how she switched it. Y'all might not have caught that, but I caught that.
Caught what?
See, Marcus, you team Sheila. Okay, where my man at? Where Aaron? I need somebody.
That's right. You get it for this.
Oh man. Well, we've got just. I wanted to. I saw this this quote here, and I just want to just put this up real quick and just let this sit on you. When mistrust comes in, love goes out. It's just an Irish proverb. And I mean, it kind of stuck with me a little bit, but I'm not going to ask anybody their thoughts on that one right now because we're going to get out of here. We don't want to take up anybody's time. We're only here for an hour. But before we get out of here, I do want to remind everybody about our tomorrow night. The Jamals will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Central Time. And then on Saturday, the Nichols will be hosting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Time. So please, and the Rudges, and don't forget about our good friends, the Rudges, who are co-hosts, and they join us from time to time, and they get on just to be a part of everything. And we just love everyone involved with what we've got going on. And we also had one last comment. There is no I in we. I know that's right. And we love you guys so much for joining us. And we thank you all for just tuning in and spending that time with us. It's always a pleasure just to be a part of everybody's lives. If you'd like to be a friend of our marriage, don't forget, go to idometoo.org and just register yourself on idometoo.org so you can join the Friends of Our Marriage movement. We love you guys. We really do. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've got this little outro we're going to send your way. And we'll be seeing you guys next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Can you stay?
We had to travel the world of our past to realize it was harder before cause we weren't by each other's side. Maybe it took a little longer to know together we're stronger. That's the way our love survived. Now we've gone through the fire. Love will take us higher, higher than it was before we went through love and war. See the promised land, walking hand in hand.